Christopher J.Simon is a former Canadian professional ice hockey left-winger, who played 20 seasons of ice hockey, 15 seasons in the NHL and 5 seasons in the Kontinental Hockey League. He last played for Metallurg Novokuznetsk of the KHL. During his NHL career, Simon's suspensions for disciplinary reasons totaled 65 games. Playing career. Simon grew up in Wawa, Ontario, playing his minor hockey for the Wawa Flyers of the Noha. As a bantam, he played junior B hockey for the Sault Ste. Marie Thunderbirds of the NOJHL in 1987-88. He was selected in the third round of the 1988 All-Priority selection by the Ottawa 67s. Simon was drafted in the second round of the 1990 NHL entry draft by the Philadelphia Flyers, but was traded as part of the Eric Lindros trade to the Quebec Nordiques before playing any games for the Flyers. He has also played for the Calgary Flames, Colorado Avalanche, Washington Capitals, Chicago Blackhawks, New York Rangers, where he split the season as a left wing and right wing, New York Islanders and Minnesota Wild. In 1996, he won the Stanley Cup with the Avalanche. Each player on the winning team is given 24 hours alone with the cup. Simon took it to his hometown of Wawa, Ontario. After showing it to the townspeople, he and his maternal grandfather took the cup on a fishing trip. Simon was a member of the Washington Capitals when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 1998. He had been enjoying great offensive success that season until a shoulder injury knocked him out for much of the playoff run. He underwent season-ending shoulder surgery in December 1998. He was the team's leading goal scorer in the 1999-2000 season with 29 goals in 75 games. He also made it to the Stanley Cup Finals with the Calgary Flames in 2004, and played for the Flames for 2 seasons before being signed as a free agent in 2006 by the New York Islanders and was then traded to the Minnesota Wild for a 6th-round draft pick. Suspensions. Simon was involved in numerous on-ice incidents and has been suspended 8 times for his conduct for a grand total of 65 games. Mike Grier incident. On November 8, 1997, during a game against the Edmonton Oilers, Simon was suspended 3 games for using his stick to hit Edmonton's Mike Grier. Grier allegedly made derogatory comments about Simon's Ojibwe heritage, and Simon allegedly responded with a racial slur before hitting Grier, although the spoken words between the two players were never confirmed. Simon flew to Toronto to apologize to Grier. Grier and Simon were later teammates for a brief time in 2002 with the Washington Capitals. Ryan Hollweg incident. On March 8, 2007, the Islanders faced the rival New York Rangers at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. At 13:25 of the third period, Rangers forward Ryan Hollweg checked Simon from behind, knocking him face-first into the boards, and giving Simon a concussion. No penalty was assessed, and play continued. Simon then took a two-handed baseball swing in the face of Ryan Hollweg with his hockey stick as he skated by. Simon received a match penalty for attempt to injure, resulting in his ejection from the game. Hollweg suffered a cut to the chin that required 2 stitches. According to ESPN's Barry Melrose, Hollweg escaped serious injury because Simon's blow caught his shoulder pads before hitting his face. Simon was automatically suspended indefinitely by the NHL due to his match penalty pending ruling by the league commissioner. On March 11, Simon's suspension was set at a minimum of 25 games, and it continued into the first 5 games of the 2007-08 season. The Nassau County District Attorney considered filing criminal charges against Simon. Simon, but declined. Hollweg later told Newsday that he was not interested in pressing charges. On March 10, Simon issued a statement in which he apologized to Hollweg and the league and said that there is absolutely no place in hockey for what he did. He asserted that he did not remember much about the incident because he was completely out of it as a result of the concussion Jarkko Ruutu incident. On December 15, 2007, at 14:06 of the third period of a home game against Pittsburgh, Tim Jackman and Jarkko Ruutu exchanged words between the team's benches during a stoppage of play. Simon skated in behind Ruutu and pulled Ruutu's leg back with his own. When Ruutu fell to his knees, Simon stepped on the back of Ruutu's right leg with his skate and then went to the bench. Simon was given a match penalty for attempt to injure and ejected from the game. The following Monday, Simon agreed to go on indefinite paid leave from the team, saying there was no excuse for his actions and that he needed some time away from hockey. However, the next day, Simon was suspended without pay for 30 games, the third longest suspension for an on-ice incident in modern NHL history behind a 41-game suspension to Raffi Torres in 2015 and a one-year suspension handed down to Marty McSorley in 2000. League disciplinarian Colin Campbell said that in his opinion, Simon had repeatedly evidenced the lack of ability to control his actions, and also stressed that this was his 8th disciplinary hearing. Following the suspension, Simon returned to play one more game with the New York Islanders before being traded to the Minnesota Wild, when Chris Pronger was not initially disciplined by the NHL when he stepped on Ryan Kesler's leg in March 2008. Simon decried what he saw as unfair and unequal treatment. On March 15, 2008, the NHL suspended Pronger for 8 games. Minor incidents. Simon was suspended for 1 game in a 2000 playoff series against Pittsburgh for cross-checking Peter Popovich across the throat on April 13, 2000. He was given 2-game suspensions, once on April 5, 2001 for elbowing Anders Eriksson, and twice in 2004 for cross-checking Tampa Bay's Ruslan Fedotenko and then jumping on and punching him, and for kneeing Dallas's Sergei Zubov. Personal life. His father, John, is of Ojibwe descent from the Wikwemikong unceded Indian Reserve on Manitoulin Island. As a teenager, he struggled with an addiction to alcohol and cocaine but was helped to sobriety by future Buffalo Sabres and New York Islanders coach Ted Nolan. In 1992, Career Statistics Awards 1995-96 NHL Stanley Cup champion, 2008-09 KHL Most Penalized Player, 2009-10 KHL All-Star Game, 2010-11 KHL All-Star Game. Transactions. June 30, 1992 traded by the Philadelphia Flyers, along with Peter Forsberg, Steve Duchesne, Kerry Huffman, Mike Ritchie, Ron Hextall. Philadelphia's 1993 first-round draft choice, Philadelphia's 1994 first-round draft choice and $15 million to the Quebec Nordiques in exchange for Eric Lindros. June 21, 1995 rights transferred to the Colorado Avalanche after the Quebec Nordiques relocated. November 2, 1996 traded by the Colorado Avalanche, along with Curtis Leschyshyn, to the Washington Capitals in exchange for Keith Jones and Washington's 1998 first and fourth round draft choices. November 1, 2002 traded by the Washington Capitals, along with Andrei Nikolashin, to the Chicago Blackhawks in exchange for Michael Nylander, Chicago's 2003 third-round draft choice and future considerations. July 25, 2003 signed as a free agent with the New York Rangers. March 6, 2004 traded by the New York Rangers, along with New York's 2004 7th-round draft choice, to the Calgary Flames in exchange for Jamie McLennan, Blair Betts and Greg Moore. July 11, 2006 signed as a free agent with the New York Islanders. February 26, 2008 traded to the Minnesota Wild for a 6th-round pick in the 2008 NHL entry draft. March 27, 2009 signed a one-year extension with Vitiaz Chekhov. May 3, 2011 release from UHC Dynamo Moscow.